2013 Mother of the Year for the Gulfport branch of the NAACP is, well, I think they want me to give you the runner-up first. So the first runner-up is Ms. Story, our first runner-up. Drum roll again, please. Okay. Not that we don't want you to know. It's just that it's a little hard to do that. You know, everybody wants to be the #1 winner, so it's a little hard. I'm going to start with the third place, and that is Miss Tashima McNair. In second place, we have Miss Lynette Heiberg. Okay. Now, did the bird tell you something? Because I didn't.
First missionary!
The winner, the Mother of the Year, Miss Yolanda Wallace. You're all winners. There are no losers. Everybody's a winner, and we're very proud and happy tonight. And we thank you, ladies, and your churches, and everyone that has come out to support this occasion. Our Mother of the Year is going to take her a nice stroll, and I'd like for you to stand up and just give her a beautiful round of applause. And we are thankful that she took this on, that they all took this on. Miss Yolanda Wallace of the First Missionary Baptist Church of Gulfport, Mississippi. Thank you. And you know, the excitement is that our 2013 Mother of the Year will have the opportunity to meet President Barack Obama and the President of Haiti in Orlando, Florida. We thank you very much, and now we will be blessed and continue this program.
Absolutely wonderful. It's hard to follow that type of energy. So let's give her another round of applause. Now we'll have the presentation of our honoree. And Honorable Judge Melvin Ray will come and present some information to us.
Good evening. It is indeed a good evening. In the book of Genesis, we're given the story of creation. And when God looked over everything that he had created, he said it is all good. Tonight, I'll look over this crowd, and it is indeed all good. I thank the NAACP for this occasion. To think of this event really touches my heart. If you had the privilege of knowing my mother, you would know that I was a mama's boy. And just 2 months before I graduated high school, my mother died. And she meant the world to me. And so I paused to remember her and to say thank you to the Gulfport branch of the NAACP for pausing to honor our mothers. Tonight, it is my honor to present one of our honorees. Martin Luther King said this in his last speech. Said, don't tell them about all those awards that I have. Tell them that I did try to help somebody. And he also said that anyone can be great because anyone can serve. So in our honoree, I know firsthand that she believes in helping others. And her willingness to serve has been evident for many years. I remember a program that she started in the early 90s to help mentor young people. She called it VEST. Values plus education equals success. And I know that the program was successful because the young man that I mentored went to serve our country and has become a very responsible young man. I've known Robin for about 25 years, and I first met her when I began to work for Joe Hudson and his firm, and Robin joined the firm. And I had the privilege of working for her in the firm, and one of my main responsibilities was to help her care for her pride and joy, her daughter Ebony. When Ebony was in junior high, sometimes Robin would send me to go pick her up from school. And she would let me drive her other pride and joy, the green Volvo. And she had a lot of faith in me to trust me with her only child and her car. And I know that Ebony would tell you that her mother is her rock. I'm sure that her husband Tom has had to yield at times to that motherly love, but her love for him is evident as well. A track star, you might call her. Hurdles, she's got that. Long distance running, no challenge for her. You might call her a trailblazer. She is ahead of the pack, always willing to help someone else along the way. You might call her a drum major for justice. I say a drum major for justice not just as a slogan or a statement borrowed from Dr. King, but her knowledge and skill on the bench exemplifies greatness, one that Lady Justice would be proud of. Justice for all is just not the ending to the pledge. For Robin, it's a way of life. She stepped out in front in 1993 as a Harrison County Board of Supervisor member. And now she proudly serves the people of Harrison County as a county court judge. And while serving as a judge, she is one of the two who represent her peers on the Judicial Performance Commission, a group that disciplines judges for misconduct. My friend's resume is long. Her bio is worth acknowledging. Her service speaks for itself, and it is worth an award named for such a wonderful person in Mrs. Roberts. I know that Ebony is traveling, and I hope that I did her mother justice. Tom, I know that you're proud of your bride, and it is my honor to present our honoree, her honor, the Honorable Robin Alfred Metcalf.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Let's cheer up a little bit. It's not a sad occasion. It's a happy occasion. My name is William Martin. I'm the brother supervisor from District 4. First, giving honor to God, podium members, president, board members, national board members. I was asked to present this award, the Luce Marion Tolliver Roberts Award, NAACP Luce Marion Tolliver Roberts Award. And when I was asked to do this, I was a little bit hesitant about really getting involved this year in the Mother of the Year gala. But I just lost my mother not very long ago. She meant the world to me. And it's really been hard to deal with that, but and I do want to thank everybody that attended my mother's funeral. They traveled a long way here from the coast all the way up to the Delta to be with me during that time, and I thank you for that. Luce Marion Tolliver Roberts was born February 5th, 1924 in Akron, Ohio. She was married to United States Air Force Colonel Lawrence Roberts. She had 4 children. You already know their names. She graduated from Howard University in Washington, D.C., where she earned a bachelor's degree in psychology. She's a former social worker, college counselor, and an educator. She was a part of this community for a very long time and meant a lot to a lot of people here. She was a member of so many boards and organizations till it would be privilege for me to try and stand here and name them all. I will say that one of the last awards she received, though, was the NAACP Mega Heritage Lifetime Achievement Award. We are honoring her now by presenting this award to this year's honoree, another great woman in this community, another woman that I've had the opportunity to know for a very long time, and been able to follow her career and had the opportunity to replace her as a supervisor and to continue a lot of the things that she started. Without further ado, I want to present to you to Robin Alfred Metcalf, the Luce Marion Tolliver Roberts Award.
What Mr. Martin failed to tell you was I also had the opportunity to win my first criminal trial against him when he was a prosecutor. And I was a mere pup right out of law school. Good evening. To the Misters of Order, to all of you on the dais, to my friend Melvin Ray for that wonderful introduction, to all of the winners, and I mean all of the winners of this evening's Mother of the Year. Ms. McNair, to hear what was said about you makes me feel very, very humbled indeed to share this evening with you. Ms. Heidelberg, to hear what your children said about you, it just honors me to be here, and we're neighborhood colleagues. Ms. Wallace, I don't know much about you, but I certainly enjoyed getting to know you through your 2 beautiful daughters. They deserve to be in Hollywood. I want to thank the NAACP for honoring me with this award, and before I get to that, I have a couple of things I want to say. And one is thanks to a lot of you who knew what I've been going through for the past couple of months. My mother has been in ICU for almost 6 weeks, and we brought her home just yesterday. And this evening's award, as I was thinking about the mothers and the things that were said, I certainly wish my mom was in better health so she could be seated at the table here tonight. But she's going to be around a while because, you see, she doesn't know this, and I'm about to tell you what the doctors told us. And they said, your mother won't be coming home. And my sister and I, along with my brother, who's a bishop up in Nashville, we were sitting there and we thought, well, that's what the doctor said. And I went to work calling on all my people that I know are prayerful people, and they called on all their people who are prayerful people, and my mother came home yesterday. So I joined William in thinking of what a wonderful tribute this is to all the mothers. So all of you are winners. Every mother in here is a winner, because I know what it takes to be a mother, and I certainly know what it is to have a mother. So I thank you for letting me digress and share that personal note with you. I also want to tell you about that little walk that we took with the mayor. I don't know if he even knows this, but this is the rest of that story. And I know you're tired and you're ready to go, but I'm last on program, so if you'll just bear with me. And Chad, I'm going to get to you. I was happy to get up here with my eyelashes still on. So my eyelashes are still on, so I can still talk a little bit, but if y'all see something black drop down, let me know so I can flick it off, okay? But when we finished that walk, and the mayor and Tom, they went a few miles further than I did. I just wanted to say I did a marathon, so at 26 point whatever, what is it, 26.4, I stopped. And I crawled to the car and I picked Tom up over in Ocean Springs. Well, my aunt, who was 64 years old at the time, finished ahead of all of us. And I think she had a knee replacement and something else, but anyway, she finished ahead of all of us. But there was a trick to that she didn't tell me about until later. But anyway, we get home, and Tom and I kind of crawled inside, and our feet were swollen. I had taken the shoes off and I couldn't get them back on. I had to stop at the drugstore to go in and get some salve, because I had all kind of blisters on my feet. And I got to the drugstore and I said, ma'am, where are the bandages? And she said, at the very back of the store. So I stood in front of the store and I thought, how am I going to get to the back of the store? So I looked around, and all the tags in the parking lot had out-of-state tags. So I thought it'll be okay. Nobody's gonna recognize me. So I literally waddled to the back of the store and I got the bandages. Well, I got home, Tom and I bandaged ourselves up, took our foot baths, and said we're gonna get up in the morning and go to Mass. Well, we got up the next morning and neither one of us could move. No, literally, we could not move. So I had to have my coffee and I had to have my paper. So I went outside. It took me about 20 minutes to make it from the front door to the mailbox to get the paper. And when I pulled it out of the paper box, it was in backwards, so it fell on the ground. I just pulled the plastic, so there's my paper on the ground. So I looked around to see if anybody was looking, and I went down. While I'm down on the ground, somebody jogs by and says, "Good morning, Judge Midcamp." And I said, "What the?" "Good morning." And she said, "You must have been running ibuprofen. And I looked at her skinny butt running on by saying, ibuprofen. So Mayor, that's why we have not done and we will not do another marathon with you. But on the serious side, I couldn't be more honored than I was when I got the letter from Carol Henderson telling me that I was the first recipient of the Lucen Marion Tolliver Roberts Award. And as I sat there tonight, I told my husband, this is very uncomfortable for me. And it is. There are so many women who are serving others, who are doing things, so many unsung heroes. And the little things that I do pale in comparison to the things that each and every one of you do every day. And I know that. But I'm still honored because Lucy Marion Roberts was a dear friend of mine. And there have been few women, honestly, that I have wanted to live my life, like a pattern my life after. One of them, and don't laugh, is Mother Teresa. It really is. But I never had the opportunity to meet Mother Teresa. But one of the others would include Lucy Marion Roberts. She had a grace and a calmness about her, and I believe that she could walk in the middle of a riot and simply speak and silence it. And I would listen to her, and she always had something very positive to say, even when she was chastising you. And I love that about her. And as I was thinking about her today, it reminded me of an incident that happened many, many years ago. And it's funny that Albert Nikes would be here because it happened in his office when I was working for Albert. And I had an incident. I was Albert's secretary, y'all, at one time. For those of you who didn't know it. So if you ever got any letters of misspelling, that was probably one I mailed. But anyway, Albert had a gentleman to come and visit him once, and he probably doesn't even remember this. But the gentleman used a racial slur to me. And at that time, I wasn't as polished and tolerant and gentle as I hope to be. I was PO'd. And I ran back in there and I ranted and raved and I told Albert what he said, and you have to know Albert. He called the gentleman in there and he did something, but when he opened the door and called me in, the man had his hand out to shake my hand. And I did something I will never, ever do again. And to this day, I regret. I refused to shake his hand. I was young, I was dumb, and I was stupid, and I was intolerant and unforgiving. But I have to tell you, when you know better, you do better. Albert called me in there like only Albert could do. And he said, when someone apologizes to you, you should learn to be gracious enough to accept that apology. And he humbled me like only Albert could do. Do you remember that, Albert? Vaguely, he says. That's good. Because you know, people, they forget the good things and they usually remember the bad things. But as I was thinking about Lucy Marion today, that incident came to mind. Because, you know, the NAACP, tolerance. So I wanted to, and funny Albert would be here, to share that with you because that's not indicative of who I am today. So wherever we are in our lives, and whatever we're doing, we can always change. And we can learn from so many, many people, even children. So as an adult, when I met Lucy Marion Roberts, there were things about her that I loved and I wanted to emulate. There are things about a lot of people, when I meet them, I think they're either a lesson or a blessing or both. And I look for the good in people, and that's what I take with me, and that's what I took from Lucy Marion Roberts. I couldn't be more pleased if I was being given, I can't even think of an award that would make me feel like this one does. So I do thank the NAACP for allowing me to be the first recipient of this award, and I do accept it on behalf of all of the unsung women out there who represent a life of service. And my little Chad and Alex, they're twins. You wouldn't know it now because Chad is shot up. He was the man up here with a little kid with a manly voice. Chad has been saying Aunt Robin since he could speak, and he's had that deep baritone voice. Thank you for those words, Chad, and Tom and I, we love you. We love you, Alex. And that's certainly not something that I expected to be shared. And those are the kind of things that we as a people, all of us do it. All of us are doing something of service, something good. And as long as we continue to do that, we can make our world a better place. I can't be concerned with changing the world globally, but I will tell you this. If I do my part, and everyone here does their part, each and every one of us will make a difference. And if you've never tried giving of your time, your life, and your service, your love, your heart, try it. And that's the quickest way to forget your own problems, is to give of yourself and do something good for someone else and not think of yourself. You can get so immersed in trying to do something, and it's not that you're thinking you're doing something good, because I will tell you, there are times I start out doing things and I come away feeling so good. I feel guilty about why I even did it, because it feels so good. Because it does, it brings you joy to help other people, and if you haven't tried it, please do it, and I hope to continue it. I think I've only done a small part. I hope I'm not getting ready to die or anything, and I hope that's not why I got this award, because I'd like to be around for a while to do more, because there's always more to be done. So again, I thank the NAACP, the President Story, all of the members, and however I was nominated to be the recipient of this award. And I do hope that I will represent well, and I hope Lucy Marion is looking down, and I hope that she is proud that I was given this award. And I certainly will continue to do everything I can to make each and every one of you proud. And thank you to those of you who came out to support me. And again, to Mrs. Wallace, Mrs. Heidelberg, and Ms. McNair, I'm honored to be sharing this night with you. You're all winners. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Robin, and to everyone who said such kind words about her. I will tell you that you have the same spirit as Mrs. Roberts. I was in her presence many times, and you are an inspiration to our generation, and I hope to be able to emulate your nature and be as classy and polished as you are, and speaking in front of a large crowd and being an example in the community. So thank you again for being here. We will now hear from Ms. Henderson, who's the chair of this program tonight, and then from Ms. Story.
Let's give everyone another round of applause. To Judge Metcalf, thank you for allowing us to celebrate your commitment to this community and to the NAACP. I tell you, she has been a stalwart supporter of the NAACP for many, many years. And we thank you. And that's why tonight we presented to you the first Lucy Marion Talbert Roberts Award. To our mothers, to Ms. Heidelberg, to Ms. McNair, to Ms. Wallace, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are all winners, and we thank you so very much for your participation and for being inspirational examples to women everywhere, and specifically to our young women in the audience. We would like to thank all of our supporters, and our supporters are listed in our program. Every year they take ads from us, they support us by participating on the program, and we thank you. And specifically, I thank the lawyers at 1600 24th Avenue. That's where my office is located. And in that building, of course, is Mr. Joseph Hudson, Mr. Warren Conway, and Mr. William Martin, and Mr. Christopher Fisher. You know, I stopped them in the parking lot saying, "Do you want to take an ad this year?" They never say no. And I truly, truly thank you for that. I want to thank the NAACP, specifically our board of directors. I want to thank Mr. Colwell, who's a national board member, for being here. I'd like to thank the ladies that assisted me in this program. And specifically, I'd like to thank Ms. Catherine Eglin in her absence. Let's give her a round of applause. Catherine is hospitalized, and she's been in the hospital since Wednesday, I want to say, of this week. So let's be prayerful, and let's keep her in our hearts and in our prayers. But I tell you, it was a committee of two, and I appreciate so much all of the assistance of Mrs. Eglin. I'd like to thank our hostesses, and let's give them a warm round of applause. They have been wonderful. See, I draft people. I don't ask them if they want to. I just say, come on, I need you to do something. And every year, they assist us. And I'd like to thank Hope Collins from my office for all that you do. And my flower girls. Let's just give them a warm welcome. Among the flower girls is little Miss Elise Henderson Brundage. She is our youngest life member of the NAACP. So let's give her a round of applause. We have, of course, another Young Life member. That's Mr. Chad Hudson in the back. Chad, stand again, please. Thank you. And to all our life members and all our members of the NAACP, I always say the same thing. And I'll say it over and over again. The NAACP is the biggest, the baddest, and the boldest civil rights organization in this country. And I am just thrilled to be a life member of this organization. And we still need all of you. It is not a black organization. It is not a white organization. It is an organization of all the people. And we need your membership. I would like to also thank my church family. FMBC, would you just stand up? I tell you, if I have a program that's going on, my church family is here. So let's give them a round of applause. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. They support us all the time and at all places. And it's just wonderful to have your church family present. To the members of Delta Sigma Theta and the other Greek organizations, thank you for your participation, your support, and for being present. To Mrs. Elizabeth Ozine, who decorated our head table, and to the caterer, let's give her a warm round of applause. The catering was done by Mrs. Audrey Duncan of the Marriott in Gulfport. And if you like the food, all you need to do is just see Miss Duncan. So we would like to just say thank you to everyone, to the mayor of this great city, and to all of the other elected officials. We would like to thank you for your continuing support of the NAACP. I don't think it's one time that we've called upon our mayor and he was not present or had a representative, and that means a lot. So we thank you, Mayor Slovo. You know, last year, and I want to say it was at the Black and White Affair, Joe Hudson said something, and I got a real kick out of it, so I'm going to say it tonight. We thanked all the elected officials, and then he said, now all you wannabes, would you please stand up? So we thank tonight the wannabes. That's Ms. Patricia Willis and Mrs. Clark. They want to be elected, and you see they're here. So I ask you to support these two women. Mrs. Clark is in my district, and my support stands behind her. So thank you for sharing this evening with us. With that said, I will now call Ruth up. You know she's the president of this great organization. And nothing could happen here tonight without her support. I thank her for nominating me as the chair of the Mother of the Year Award banquet tonight. So now we have Ms. Ruth Story. Thank you and good evening from me. As you can see, I'm cold. If it's not 90 degrees, it's not my weather. And since I'm cold, I'm going to say thank you for coming. We hope you have had a wonderful night. I have, and I'm telling you, I get to reap the benefits of it, and I don't have to do the work. Thank you, Carol. Ms. Carol Henderson has done a wonderful job, and all of the NAACP members have done a great job. You have made me look good. I'm teasing. But they have, haven't they? They've done a wonderful job. Thank you and have a good night. A safe trip home. And are we having a good farewell prayer? Don't want to get on the highway without Pastor Adolph telling us.
I just want to thank you for allowing me to MC this event. She's right. She stopped me somewhere, I can't remember where it was, and said, you're going to MC. And I said, okay. So now that I know what to expect, and I fumbled a little bit through it, I want to do this again next year because I had such a good time, and now I'm relaxing. I can, next time I'll just have a little break before I go. How is it tonight?
Yeah, something else from our president.
I just want to remind you about the membership opportunities in the back of the book, and also you had an opportunity to write your contact information and email address. That is so that we can get in touch with you in the future. So please take this opportunity to become a member. I know that I'm taking an opportunity to do that as well.
Would you stand and repeat after me? I must work the works of him that sent me while in his day. The night coming when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. St. John, chapter 9, verses 4 and 5. Good evening.
Reminder, we still have keys that are in the bathroom. Waste management, green band.
Oh, I had
I told her a while ago, I saw this man is tired of me walking past, but I tried to remember to come behind him.